these guys, after accusing me of misinformation, are waging war against our old friend Tylenol. That cute little caplet we've known and eaten for years is now public enemy number one. The president and the croakiest Kennedy are telling us not to take Tylenol, which is confusing between the new rules for that and vaccines and who knows what else is next, maybe Flintstones vitamins.
Trump brought Elon Musk to the White House. They bring a Tesla, and Trump's like, I'm buying a Tesla with my own money, and
which nobody believes.
And the man did a full-on infomercial. I'm like, this is the president of the United States.
Yep.
Shilling cars for this low price, one-time offer. You can buy a Tesla if you call now, and for this short time, limited period.
Trump once said he was running the country like a business. Turns out, the business was show business. And Jimmy Kimmel and Trevor Noah had front row seats. They didn't just mock his tweets, they decoded them, showing how every boast, every press conference, and every fired aide revealed a president addicted to performance. Let's break down how humor became the best truth detector in politics. Ever seen a president treat the Oval Office like a late-night stage? Trump actually did. Every camera became his spotlight, every podium his set piece. The man didn't seem to want to govern as much as he wanted to perform. It wasn't press briefings anymore. It was primetime Trump, live from the White House every night. And the applause seemed to matter more than the policy behind it. You could almost hear him waiting for the laugh track that never played.
From one very special friend, moments after we taped our show last night, the Mad Red Hatter wrote, I can't believe ABC Fake News gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. You can't believe they gave me my job back. I can't believe we gave you your job back.
Jimmy Kimmel called it years ago when Trump stood next to Elon Musk, showing off a Tesla as if he were hosting a car show. Kimmel joked that Trump turned the event into a full-on infomercial, pretending he was buying the car with his own money. The real punchline was that he was the president of the United States, and he somehow made the White House look like a used car lot with red carpets. That little stunt summed up the whole act. Leadership that valued camera angles more than outcomes. Trump's press events began to look like rehearsals for a sketch show. One moment he'd attack a reporter, the next, he'd boast about ratings. Facts took a back seat to sound bites, and policy briefings started to sound like punchlines from an overconfident comedian. Kimmel once said, a Trump briefing felt like open mic night at a comedy club nobody asked to attend. And that line landed because it was true. The man didn't seem to draw a line between running America and running a show.
At the Ryder Cup over the weekend, which kind of explains this caveman-like behavior. The president has been hard at work coming up with all sorts of nonsense to distract us from the Epstein files, including, I don't know if you saw this, but he made a major announcement. I am ordering my administration to declassify and release all government records related to Amelia Earhart. Her final trip and everything else about her.
Trevor Noah went even deeper, calling the whole presidency a reality show that never ended. He described it like a program that survived off chaos and a host who refused to let the cameras stop rolling. Every controversy kept the episode going. Every feud, every tweet, every awkward photo op, it all fed the plot. Noah joked that the country wasn't watching a president. It was watching a man obsessed with keeping his name trending.
The point is Trump sent out one of his thingies, I don't know what they're called, and it was like, Trevor Noah was never funny, Jon Stewart was only slightly better, and then like he goes on like a rant and he's just like, these people don't realize if they moved more to the center like me, they would have more followers. Then I'm like, center like you?
The obsession ran deep. Camera time, crowd size, retweets, applause. Trump measured success not by policies passed, but by views collected. The mood at the White House shifted from politics to production. And that's when the lines blurred completely. What used to be serious business became a show written on the fly. Kimmel even said it felt like a sitcom, written by accident and directed by chaos. Trump as the loudest comedian, yelling his own punchlines before anyone else could. The sad part was that the constant showmanship made real leadership disappear under the lights. The country watched him chase cheers while real problems waited in the dark. Kimmel once said, Trump wanted to be the hero of history, but kept landing roles more suited for blooper reels. And somehow, he still asked for applause at the end. But even those claps started fading once people looked past the spotlight and saw the numbers struggling to match his performance.
The White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled. No, they weren't. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone and his talent was never there. That I can't argue with. Shut the up. The freedom of speech is only for me.
Trump loved big numbers until they popped. He spent years waving charts like they were magic tricks, telling everyone the economy had never looked better. Every speech sounded like a sales pitch, and he treated statistics like shiny trophies instead of complex realities. He would brag about record jobs, the strongest stock market in history, and deals that supposedly redefined capitalism. But for late-night comedians like Kimmel and Noah, this was gold. To them, Trump wasn't talking about economics. He was performing another act of his ongoing reality show. Kimmel loved pointing out how Trump bragged the way a kid shows off test results he didn't actually earn. He joked that Trump was like a student who failed the exam, but still showed it to his mom, saying, "Look, I passed." The laughs came because everyone knew those numbers didn't tell the full story. Behind the upbeat speeches, there were trade wars, layoffs, and small businesses struggling to survive. Yet Trump kept repeating the same lines, convinced that if he said it long enough, it might turn true.
Yes, guys, at this moment, you know Trump, only Donald Trump, the president of the United States, the man who claims to know where technology, economies, markets, all of it is going. He gets in the car, he looks at the instrument panel and exclaims like somebody who has discovered a new world. He's like, wow, it's all computer.
So he's never been in a Tesla.
Yeah, but he doesn't say it's all digital.
No, it's all computer, like your grandma.
It's all computer.
Yeah, they put computer in car.
Trevor Noah took things further, turning Trump's claims into running gags. He created the idea of inherited momentum, explaining how every president benefits from the economy that came before them. According to Noah, Trump acted like he built the roller coaster when he just hopped on during the downhill rush. The joke stuck because it made the point simple. Trump's historic growth wasn't born out of genius, it was born out of timing. The economy was already rising. He just rebranded the graph with his name on it. Both Kimmel and Noah used fact checks as punchlines. They'd show graphs, data, and quotes side by side, letting the numbers themselves be the setup to their jokes. Kimmel would walk through Trump's claims about job creation, only to reveal that the growth rate was basically the same as Obama's final years. Noah would pull up Trump's promises of balancing the budget, then show the ballooning deficit, grinning as if to say, "There goes that deal-maker magic again." What made their comedy sting was how familiar Trump's rhythm was. He used the same pattern stand-up comics use: set up, exaggerate, and wait for applause. Only in Trump's case, the applause came from his rallies instead of audiences who knew it was a bit. The comedians flipped that format on him, using his own style against him. They let him do the setup, and then they delivered the actual punchline with facts, not promises.
Spent some time bragging about his $200 million ballroom again. He said it's going to be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. Oh, how exhilarating for all of us. He's so excited for these balls, he can taste them. Trump claims he's going to pay for some of the costs of the ballroom as a gift to us, which, thank you very much. We'll never be in it, but thank you very much. And he's already figured out where to get the money. Trump today became the first president to sue the New York Times. He's suing the New York Times for $15 billion for defamation. $15 billion. Where does he even come up? These are like numbers my children make up.
By the end, viewers started seeing the economic miracle for what it was: a performance dressed in numbers, a ratings game disguised as policy. Behind every claim was a balloon stretched thin with hype. And when the comedians pricked it with data, it deflated fast. That same fake-it-till-you-make-it energy didn't fade after the markets cooled. It followed him straight into his favorite stage, Twitter, where the boasting turned from numbers to non-stop feuds. And what if the president's main cabinet was his Twitter feed? For Donald Trump, that wasn't a joke. It was daily reality. He used Twitter like a megaphone, diary, and stage all at once. Most leaders release statements through press secretaries. Trump fired out tweets before breakfast, shaping the day's headlines in 280 characters. His phone became the real power seat of his administration. Cabinet meetings could wait, but tweets about enemies, ratings, or the weather? Those went out instantly. The app was his weapon, his microphone, and sometimes his meltdown space. Late-night hosts watched it unfold like a never-ending script no one asked for. Every post became a public performance, with Trump setting up scenes in real time. Kimmel joked that the president didn't need national security briefings when he already had his timeline. Noah, always quick to decode, pointed out that Trump's posts weren't policies. They were punchlines disguised as official updates. He treated announcements about North Korea or trade deals with the same tone he used to attack late-night hosts.
The glimmer of hope that I get from Donald Trump is that he also doesn't know what he's doing. He's in it with us, which is a nice change. Oftentimes we're at the mercy of those in power, but he's in the mercy with us. Like we're all locked in a prison cell, but he's holding the key and he's like, we're all trapped. What are we gonna do? We're like, use the key. What? What are you talking about? And the reason I say this is because Trump came out and he hosted a press conference about dropping the bombs. And he was shocked in the press conference. He came out and he's like, the United States military, that's us, launched missiles, bunker busters on Iran, on all their nuclear facilities. And boy, you don't understand. Never seen bombs like that before. And I called. I'm the one who called. I said, drop the bombs. I didn't know I was gonna call. And then I was on the plane, then I said, I'm calling. Drop the bombs. And the bombs were...
The effect was surreal. Serious international moments tossed between memes and rants, making it hard to tell where the presidency stopped and the show began. When tensions rose abroad, Trump would tweet insults or threats from the comfort of his golf resort. It was like watching a man live tweet a global drama. Instead of tense diplomacy, the world got grumpy Trumpy, firing off caps-locked warnings. The mix of humor and chaos gave comedians endless material. Kimmel once said that when the president typed in all caps, you could almost hear him shouting from his golden toilet. Audiences laughed not just because it was ridiculous, but because it felt true. Foreign policy had turned into a feed refresh. Trevor Noah turned those posts into what he called reality show confessionals. Each tweet revealed more about Trump's mood than his strategy. One day, he announced historic peace. The next, he called someone a loser. Noah compared it to a contestant breaking the fourth wall, ranting to the camera mid-show. It captured how unstable and unscripted everything felt, like Policy by improv comedy. The humor cut through confusion, turning noise into something viewers could actually interpret. Comedy, in moments like this, became a translator. Fact checks felt slow, jokes hit fast. By mocking Trump's digital tantrums, Kimmel and Noah turned public entertainment into a form of accountability. Kimmel's running joke that Trump needed a social media manager more than a chief of staff hit hard because it wasn't that wrong. The country's direction often shifted based on how the man felt before sunrise. Each tweet drew applause or outrage, both feeding his need for reaction. The presidency turned into an open mic night where every post waited for laughs, likes, and cable coverage. Citizens weren't just watching policy, they were watching performance art. And through that chaos, the comedians taught people a new kind of awareness, showing that laughter could be a sharper check on power than silence ever was. Comedy didn't just expose Trump, it changed how people read power. Kimmel's monologues and Noah's sharp jokes turned politics into class sessions about performance, showing how leaders can sell illusions with the right tone. Every laugh became a quick civic lesson, a moment to see how flattery replaced responsibility. Trump's fans saw a showman, the rest saw a salesman rehearsing his lines. Late-night comedy turned awkward truth into something everyone could understand. Funny, but serious underneath. In the Trump era, applause became policy, and satire became the scoreboard keeping score when no one else would.